I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Monday, July the 8th. We're back. Been missing you guys. About the longest break I remember having. Brought to you in part by Macrocin by Bimeda. Macrocin has proven efficacy at an affordable upfront price. There's no BS. That's the end of the story. For more information, go to macrocin.com. Also, Joplin Regional Stockyards, they just keep marketing cattle. They're going to start at 4 o'clock in the morning here on Monday. They're going to have 10,000 head for the yearling special here today on Monday the 8th. They didn't even shut down during the 4th of July holiday. They had a big sale last Monday. They had the huge Big Bang video sale with primetime livestock video. On July the 3rd, they had a cow sale featuring one big heavy muscle bull weight 1665, bring $2.48 a pound, and they had high dressing slaughter cows up to 166. Now they're going to have over 100 loads, straight loads of yearlings here today on Monday for the yearling special. Be sure and get in there. Like I said, they're starting at 4. By 6 they'll be on load lots. And there'll be a lot of nice cattle in there. The market's just bringing them out of the woodwork. A lot of cattle backgrounded in that area out on grass, and those cattle are coming in, guys. But at the Big Bang sale that they had last Tuesday at Kansas Crossing Casino in Pittsburgh, Kansas, whoa, they really established the market on these yearlings coming off grass here mid to late summer. A couple of featured lots that I saw sell. Moriando Farms, that's in southwest Missouri there. These are Missouri grass yearling steers for immediate delivery. There were 366 of those steers, weighed 985 for a base weight, with a weight stop at 1035. All black steers bring 253.50. At 985, people. Last year, those same steers were just a pinch lighter and bring 237. Another lot I thought was interesting was the Stout Cattle Company. They had 131 steers with a base weight of just 800 pounds coming out of the Flint Hills for an end of July delivery, which those will be some of the lightest cattle coming out of the Flint Hills. We used to say the cattle would have a base weight of 800 pounds coming out of the Flint Hills, but most of them are going to weigh 9, and some of them better than that. But 800 would be on the extreme light end this year, as well as cattle have done, and as well they've been doing out there all summer. But these cattle are also black with an 850 pound weight stop, 131 of them. Base weight 800 pounds, bring 272. Last year, those steers bring 235. Back to work in a big way, guys. This will be one of the biggest weeks of the year for cattle marketing, if not the biggest. We've got the week in the Rockies that's coming up. That's actually going to be in Utah this year. And they're going to be selling cattle all week long. They got over 300,000 of them to offer on there. We're going to have the Western video market that I'm going to tell you a lot more about here in just a minute. That's their big Reno sale. That's the biggest sale of the year for them. They've got well over 160,000 cattle on there for today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, July 8th through the 10th. But going to be selling a lot of cattle. And then we got some of these auctions like Joplin's going to be selling a lot of cattle through the ring. But it's one of the years, if not the year's biggest week of marketing here that we see all week long. We've now established your market for cattle coming out of the Flint Hills and the Osage. They helped do that on the Big Bang sale, and also the Blue Stem special that they had, Coffeyville Stockyards had there the week before. But they are selling cattle in the Flint Hills on a direct basis, going right along and selling a lot of them. And I know there's a lot of, most of the cattle will sell on a direct basis out of the Flint Hills and the Osage. That's the way they've always sold them. We're starting to see more of them come on the video, and then a lot of them will hold them right up until delivery and bring them into one of the sale barns there across eastern Kansas. So it's always interesting. In the last several years, those cattle have brought more the week of delivery, and some of the guys that just held them and took them to the sale whenever they needed to come off that grass got along better than anybody. But a lot of direct sales happening right now. Most of those green yearlings coming out of the Flint Hills and the Osage with a base weight of 850 pounds are bringing right up against 270. 268, 269. Probably has been some that bring 270 or better, but a world of them moving at 268, 269, 850 pound base weight out of the Flint Hills for delivery later this month. But that's going to be the market there. And I told you guys a few months ago that I thought that an 800 pound steer, base weight delivery steer out of the Flint Hills would bring closer to 280 than 250. And we saw those 800 pounders on the Big Bang sale bring 272. That's closer to 280 than 250, and even that 268 to 269 that's on the base weight of 850 pounders are doing that. So promises made, promises kept there for you guys on that. But last week, early part of the week, since I talked to you, was at the Independent Cattlemen's Association of Texas convention there in San Marcos, Texas. They had one of the best turnouts they've had. I believe there was over 500 attendees, and then a lot of them had spouses or family with them, so it was a big group of people there. We had a really good time. We talked about things that other trade associations don't want to talk about. I did hold kind of a session there that we talked about the bird flu, had discussions about that, which were just pretty much frustrated with that. We've seen the last of it, but you never know when it's going to rear its ugly head again. But I don't think it's going to be the black swan that knocks us off the pedestal, because we've already seen it come and go too many times. But we did talk about the mandatory EID, and most everybody in attendance there that was in on that session, there was an industry panel there, and most everybody there was definitely interested in getting behind the Harriet Hageman bill that would block mandatory EID on breeding stock cattle and cattle going to rodeos and exhibition and things like that. They just think it's government overreach on small businesses, and they would like to get behind that bill and show their support that they do not want mandatory EID, even if it's just on the breeding stock, let alone all classes, when that will be an uprising, I guarantee you, if they try to do that again. But I had a good time there at San Marcos, Texas. Had a good time with my friends and family back in the Texas Panhandle for the 4th of July weekend. Hope you guys had a good time too. Talk about your board for last week. August live cattle futures. Of course, it's kind of a weird board because of the holiday week right in the middle. But Monday was down 115, if you remember. And then we just came straight up from there. Tuesday was up 82 cents. Wednesday was up 82 cents. Thursday was the 4th. Friday up another 50 cents. August live cattle ended the week at 186.42. That was $1 higher for the week. October live cattle futures ended the week at 187.17. That was up 175 for the week. So pretty decent gains on a short holiday week there. August feeder cattle Monday was down big, down 192, but then up big middle part of the week. Tuesday was up 372. Wednesday was up 227. Thursday was the 4th, of course, and then Friday down 190. But August feeder cattle ended the week at 261.47, out in front of our index levels, and that was $2.17 higher for the week. September ended the week at 262.22. That was up 257 for the week. and that was right in the face of higher grains. July corn ended the week at 4.11 1/4, 14 cents higher for the week. Beans were 11.88 1/2 at the end of the week, up 36 1/4 cents a bushel. Kansas City hard red winter wheat ended the week up 3 1/4 cents for the week at 5.95 1/4. Your fat cattle trade didn't have much trade all through the week, and I know it was a short week, but your packers still needed to get out there and buy cattle in a negotiated manner and get that market set. They really didn't get that done all week, and through Thursday afternoon they had only sold 6,200 for the week. Live sales for fat steers and heifers in your 5-area feeding region ranged from 193 to 199 with a weighted average of 195.37, but that was with no Southern Plains trade at all and very little spotty trade in the Northern Plains. Dress sales last week up through Thursday ranged from 308 to 315 with a weighted average of 313.84, and like I said, that was pretty spotty too. Now on Friday, they sold more cattle on Friday than they'd sold pretty much all week, and that was just up through 2 o'clock, and then they sold a lot more cattle after 2 o'clock, but we won't know how many till that report comes out here today on Monday, and I'll tell you all about it on our next visit. But on Friday, up through 2 o'clock, they'd sold 1,800 in Iowa, 4,500 for the week. Live sales in Iowa on Friday, $1.96 to $2. That's mostly steady with the previous week. Dress sales, 310 to 315, mostly steady with the previous week. Nebraska only sold 600 head up through 2 o'clock on Friday. 1,800 for the week is all, and a little bit of Friday trade at 312 early there. Kansas on Friday before 2 o'clock it sold 2,400, only 4,600 for the week, and the live price was 190, which was exactly steady with the previous week. Texas sold 2,700 on Friday at 190 also. So I think the market is mostly steady. That's all you could say about the fat cattle market last week for the holiday week, is it was steady with the previous week. I do think we might see all-time record high weighted averages again though, because we saw some $2 trade in the Northern Plains on Friday, probably a lot more of it after 2 o'clock, and we'll find that out on our next visit. But with lighter trading and holiday trading, I think there's a possibility we may break the weighted averages either on live steers or dress steers, or maybe even both. But we'll find that out here, and I'll tell you on our next visit. Box beef cutout values were higher for last week, especially on the choice. Your weighted average on all of last week's choice cuts sales, 329.96. That was up 6 1/4 compared to the previous week's weighted average. Your late Friday sales, Friday afternoon, were 330.43, and that was about 50 cents higher than the weighted average. So finished the week pretty strong, and we think we had pretty good dispersal of your shelves and your retail outlets. So maybe they'll come back in aggressive this week with more summertime grilling to go. Your weighted average on last week's select sales, 305.58. That was up $1.50 compared to the previous week's weighted average. But your late Friday sales were about 50 cents lower than that. And we have seen that choice select spread get wider there. $24.38 last week on your weighted average. You would expect that when it's summer grilling season and people want those rib cuts to put and the choice to put on the grill. But all that information based on 409 loads of cuts, grinds, and trimmings last week. Your slaughter for the holiday week was 517,000 for cattle, and you can't really compare it to that 609 the previous week, but it was 19,000 less than the same holiday week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. I told you I was going to be telling you about the Western Video Market's Reno sale that's starting here today on Monday, going to go Tuesday and Wednesday. I tell you what, it's first class right there at Silver Legacy Casino. You think Superior Sale is impressive with Ralph Wade and Charlie Cummings on there as auctioneers. Well, Western Video Market's not taking a step back at all. They got Rick Machado, which you could charge, you could charge an admission just to watch him sell or to tune in and view it online. But he's really good, and Max Oliveira is one of the very, very best, also auctioneer in there in Reno for the Western Video Market sale. They're going to have 163,000 to market here July 8th, 9th, and 10th. Today, tomorrow on Tuesday, and Wednesday the 10th. Now Monday, they're going to start early in the morning on yearlings, and they're going to start in the plains. They've got some cattle plumb as far east as Nebraska. They'll be selling on them, and they'll be some of the fanciest yearlings you can find anywhere. They'll start with them and then just slowly start heading back west. They'll go through eastern Colorado and through the Rockies, and then they'll go through the basin area and then all the way out to the western places of Oregon and California, which they market the most cattle, hence the name Western Video Market. But they are going to sell all the yearlings on Monday. Now see, that works good because the week in the Rockies, they're going to start their sale with calves. So that's nice. So if you're interested in yearlings, get on Monday, and then you won't miss the yearlings on the week of the Rockies. Now Tuesday morning on the Western Video Market, they're going to sell the lambs that they have consigned, and they'll have several big strings of lambs on there, and then they'll start on the big weaned calves. Likely going to be seeing more weaned calves on some of these videos here because people are seeing what that's worth. But big weaned calves going to start Tuesday after the lambs, and just like they did on Monday with the yearlings, they're going to start in the eastern consignments in the plains and work their way west. Tuesday afternoon, they've got around 2,000 head of breeding stock, and they will be extremely top quality Western breeding stock there with some of the best genetics you can find anywhere. And then on Wednesday, it's going to be fall delivery calves, and all over the western United States, some of the fanciest strings of fall delivery calves you'll find anywhere. By the middle of this week, working towards the end, we will know what the market is on fall delivery calves with the week in the Rockies and Western Video Market sale. But tell you what, Western Video Market sale, that Reno sale that they have there, of course, Western Video Market's been in business since the late 80s there with Ellington Peak and John Rogers founding that company, and still there, especially Ellington, my buddy. He's going to be, he'll be there at Reno, I bet, if there's any way possible, but he's working well into his 90s and still just as sharp as you can believe, unlike our President Magoo. But it's just a family there with Western Video Markets. They work around some of the best auction markets in the West, and they work with the sale barn markets there. Instead of stepping on their toes, they work with them, try to let them get the consignments in there that they can't get through the ring. And I like the way that they do that. The quality will be absolutely outstanding. There won't be any plain cattle on the Western Video Market sale. There never is. They just don't handle that type of cattle. But be sure to check them out on WVMcattle.com, which is Western Video Market Cattle's website. Or if you want to watch online, just get on to DVAuction.com, select Western Video Market. We're proud to collect the online bids with Western Video Market, and then we partner with them on putting production sales online too out west. But don't miss that sale. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market. Your real-time index ended the week last week based on an 800-pound cash auction steer at 259.26. That was up 255 for the week, and we didn't have a lot of markets there middle of the week and late in the week, so it was mostly early in the week, and we saw the big gains there. Now your CME cash feeder cattle index has got a long ways to catch up, and it is going to catch up a bunch here the next 2 or 3 days. when it comes out, but the latest available was $255.08, so more than $4 behind your real-time index, which is always up to date and current, but running low on receipts because it's a 7-day moving average and we haven't had a lot of cattle sell, but we are going to dump a ton of them in there this week. Some other big sales going to be happening on Monday. Callaway Livestock Center in Kingdom City, Missouri. They're going to have 3,500. They got some really nice consignments there, calves and yearlings there. The flood has persisted in the Midwest and is still really bad. And those guys have been dealing with that. A lot of your Northern Plains cattle feeders been dealing with that and still trying to hold the packers back and keep the market up. So good job to them. We've also got a pretty good sized hurricane hitting South Texas, guys, and that is going to hamper some South Texas cattle producers moving over into Louisiana here first of the week. But didn't have a lot of sales late last week or over the weekend to give you, but I had to find at least one to make up our most impressive quote. Your Macrocin, no BS, top quote for the day late last week or over the weekend, come out of Lake Cumberland Livestock Market in Somerset, Kentucky. It was on Saturday. They sold 68 steers, weighed 805, and bring 269 in Somerset, Kentucky. And that's your feeder flash for Monday.